Hello and welcome to the Deep the Eczema YouTube channel. Very happy that you're here watching, and today we're going to be talking about lifestyle and how it affects eczema. Let me just introduce myself. My name is Trudy and I'm the founder of Deep the Eczema. As well as this YouTube channel, I also have a blog. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram. Those links are in the description and you can go and look at those in your own time. So let's get rolling to talking about lifestyle and how it affects eczema. So, as you probably know, and as you probably might have guessed, yes, our lifestyles when it comes to having eczema affects us physically, mentally, emotionally, and socially. So, let's get started by talking. Let's go to the physical aspect on lifestyle and how it affects eczema. So, on a physical perspective, as we know, identifying our triggers is important. So we know what triggers our eczema, what aggravates our eczema, and we can then work out what actions we can put in place in order to avoid triggers. Those videos I'm going to put in the description. You can have a look at those as well. And I'm also going to add another link to do with self-care and eczema. So I also think that's important as well. So that will also be there. Other things you can do and how it affects our lifestyle is the temperature and the humidity of where we are. So as we approach winter, humidity levels in the home can be affected because of central heating. When it's the summer, air conditioning also dries out the skin. Any environment which doesn't have natural air and the air is artificial also affects our skin as well. So it's been able to consider those factors and adapt that into our lifestyle as well. So what can we do in order to control that? So that includes having a routine in place. It includes probably avoiding certain environments or spend limiting time in those environments if that's the reason why your eczema is affected and it's affecting your lifestyle. It could also include working out what moisturizer is best for you. So it may mean testing and trying on different products. It may also mean reviewing your diet and reviewing your nutrition, because maybe there's an allergy or an intolerance which you have which doesn't agree with your skin. So these are all things which we need to put into our lifestyle. Other things we need to consider physically for our lifestyle as well is staying hydrated. So that means drinking lots of water and avoiding things that will make us more dehydrated than normal. And keeping in control of our vitamins and minerals. So as we approach winter, I've started increasing my vitamin intake. So I'm taking vitamin B, C, and D. So the vitamin D helps the skin because there's less sunlight which we're receiving. Vitamin C is for the immune system. So the more our immune system is under control, the less likely we are to become ill, because being ill can also aggravate our eczema symptoms as well. And vitamin B for multiple health purposes, which all interlinks with each other. So those are things which we can use and adapt into our lifestyle to physically improve the eczema. So what about mentally? What can we mentally do to improve our eczema, and something we need to do to put into our lifestyle? So lifestyle, the most important thing really is self-esteem, because having eczema really can affect our confidence and it can affect our self-esteem. Sadly as well, if we become anxious and we don't want to socialize and go out, if we're a bit conscious about the exposure on our skin, especially if it's in a visible place, it can lead to social isolation, where we stay indoors, we become over anxious and we don't want to go outside, which isn't good for us mentally. We're human beings, and as human beings, I think we're meant to have that social interaction the isolation and solitude at a big level is not great for the mind mentally. So having eczema can be tricky because it can actually lead to isolation. So I think that being able to manage that, being able to socialize and to talk to people, just be out with your family or someone really, really close to you who trusts and you can rely on, really can improve your lifestyle and eczema. Sadly as well, having eczema can affect our lifestyles because it can lead to judgment, it can lead to discrimination. And I do actually have a historian where I've been discriminated against because of having eczema, and it led to me having to move house. I'm not going to go into that story because I've got another video where I talk about it in full detail. That I'll also put in the description, which you can have a look at and listen to in your own time, just to get a feeling on how much discrimination and unfair treatment can also affect you and your lifestyle. So that's another aspect as well. Our lifestyles can be affected if we receive that judgment and if we're being treated unfairly for having a skin condition. That's another way how our lifestyle can actually be affected. Stress is another factor. Obviously, when things in life go on, I know there's some things which are completely beyond our control, but stress does play a big role. It does affect the lifestyle, which then aggravates the eczema as well, which doesn't help. I talk about in another video where I talk about triggers, talk about stress and things that we can do to manage stress levels as well. So you can have a look at that in my description as well. I'll put it in the description so you can watch that in your own time. And then there's times as well where we just don't feel attractive. We just sit there and we think, oh gosh, I don't feel attractive today, or I feel ugly today, I feel like crap today. So yes, there's times and factors where our lifestyle is affected because we just physically don't feel it. And there could be many reasons why we feel unattractive. It could be just, I don't feel great today. It could just be feeling low. It could be hormonal reasons as well. Why we just sit there sometimes and feel, oh gosh, I don't feel great today. And this is how eczema and lifestyle is affected when we don't feel good within ourselves. So those are factors from a mental perspective, but also from an emotional level and from a social level. So how do we actually deal with that? So I've spoken about lifestyle and how it affects eczema, but how do we actually deal with it and incorporate it in our lifestyle in order to feel better and in order to manage things? Well, I think the best thing we can do is obviously speak about it to family, to friends, someone who you're close to and you can really trust. Seek a professional help as well. I also truly recommend that. Could be a counsellor, it could be a therapist of any kind, in order to suit your needs and in order to change your lifestyle. I also think liaising with other people who have eczema is also good because you can learn from each other. You understand how both yourself and the other person, or if it's a group of people, how you all feel. And then that can be like a support network. So then you're able to talk and support each other, and you can recommend things to each other and then try and do things together to learn and to grow. And you can also learn from each other about lifestyles. What do they do? What did they do to manage things? Okay, I did this in my life to manage my eczema. What about you? And then you all talk together and discuss. So talking to other people who've got eczema as well is really, really useful as well. Also practical things. So we know when it comes to eczema and adapting, having a good rest, so a good night's sleep is also ideal. They say for adults 7 to 8 hours. Me personally, 7 hours is great. Any less than 6, I'm a cranky person the next day, trust me. So Any other activities which you can do to improve your lifestyle and your mental health is also important. So I've spoken about sleep, even just doing things to distract your hands so you're not scratching as much. Those are things we can put into our lifestyle as well. Mindfulness, self-care. There's many things which you can do in order to adapt and manage your lifestyle and your eczema as well. So there's many things on there. Just switching back to the group and speaking with others with eczema, support groups. So as well as just speaking to each other, one another, any support groups out there which you can join is also useful. Looking up and researching different charities. So for example, you've got the National Eczema Society, which is UK based. They've got lots of information about eczema, managing lifestyle, how it affects you and what you can do to improve. And even just being here on YouTube. So obviously there's me talking. There's many other YouTubers out there who talks about eczema. So even learning from other people as well as myself can also help with your lifestyle managing things as well. So I feel like I've given a lot of information and I've just thrown it all at you. So I'm gonna stop there and call it a day. But thank you very much for watching this video. I really appreciate you being here and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Take care and see you soon.